First of all, thank you for having me. I think predominantly the conversation on diversity has started in the Middle East, but it's in its infancy. And I think it's about time that this conversation happens in a dialogue that isn't just about women empowering women, it's also about the industry realizing and recognizing the importance of inclusivity and diversity in a luxury space. And it's the first time that, in the region we're present in a luxury category. And I think that's very important as a conversation and see where that can go. It's really, really taking a slow pace. And when I started my brand, let's take it from that perspective. When I started my brand, it was super challenging. People just straight away segmented the brand as plus. And then as the years progressed, they started understanding that it was from 0 to 24 as opposed to just 12 to 24. The introduction of 11 Honoré and how fast that it's been very well received is based on the fact that people are more comfortable with themselves now than they were when I'd started. They're much more comfortable. There's a huge awareness level. You have the emergence of all of these plus size models who are really, showcased on our runways and clearly showcasing the fact that you can be healthy and happy and wear luxury at whatever specific size that you're in. And I think everybody's becoming more accepting in terms of who you are as an individual, as well as what kind of situations that you have fallen into that result you to be X, Y, or Z. And that's helping a lot for people to be more trusting and more self-aware and being comfortable in their own skin. It's taking its time, but we're getting there. Extremely positively. You have definitely women who are more private about how they feel about their aesthetic, and you have women who are more public about that. Really that just resonates about being good with yourself and being content with yourself. It's not about trying to overly compliment yourself. It's just trying to be good and, satisfied with who you are as an individual. And somehow just accepting yourself as being positive because you're comfortable in your own skin and you can see it. You can see women who are and women who aren't. And the other thing about body positivity is who am I or who is anybody to judge anybody else for how they look? So this is something else, is that just be positive about everybody and be judgment free. I think those are the things that come to mind when I think of body positivity. There was a time where I found that insulting.
Right.
And that has now changed because it's actually just a form of identification in the way that I see it. In order to understand that this market hasn't been catered for, I think we're kind of in the middle between where we're going to get to versus where we are now. And there's kind of this conversation about it's equivalent to saying petite and tall and curvy and plus and all of these different segments to define a certain characteristic of a person to better the environment or the business. At some point, I don't think any of these terms are going to be used because everyone's going to be catered for. Going into women's Instagram accounts calling themselves plus and curvy and all of this, it's like you're defined by it as opposed to you being an individual. That's something I find ridiculous. You are who you are, whatever shape. So why are you calling yourself the curvy XXX or the plus blah blah blah? I mean, it is a movement, and it is a movement in larger sizes, and there needs to be a descriptor for it.
For sure.
That's how I think of it. I think that in the Middle East, everything is new when it comes to this area of acceptance, and it's taking time, but really, really, we are getting there. There are movements happening around us, and I'm seeing it left, right, and center. But I think it's just boiling down to one thing: is our definition or our preconceived definition of beauty. If we were not taught that makeup was a thing, it wouldn't be a thing today. If we were not taught perfume was a thing, it wouldn't be. If we were taught that our definition of beauty, preconditioned since we were children, is, you look at models and actresses have all been a size 2, you think that's what you need to be. The emergence of normality has to stem from every single touch point that we're experiencing. I'll just start by talking about you as is, and the whole theory behind it is, every time I used to greet somebody, I greet somebody saying, you look great. Oh yeah, I have 2 kilos to lose. Or oh yeah, I'm doing this and this in the next couple of weeks. Oh, thank you. I don't feel great today, but thank you. We never, or not we never, 90% of the people that we know do not accept themselves as they are in the moment right now. There's always this aspiration for later, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's just don't forget the moment you're living in right now. So you as is you right now in the moment for whatever it is, you are enough. Anything else that you do is a bonus. I wanted to do something in Arabic. I feel like we always aspire to the West when we have so much talent in the region. And the word in Arabic is so beautiful. So first it started as a Lebanese line, "Inti مثل ما أنت" أو "أنت مثل ما أنت." But obviously that's just very Lebanese centric. And so I made it into the colloquial Fusha Arabic and I said "Anta kama anta wa anti kama anti." And who best to work with on calligraphy than Nadine Kanso? A personal friend, a family friend. Her jewelry is incredible. She managed to keep Arabic alive. You know, I mean, English has become my first language, Arabic becoming my second, and that's kind of wrong. And I was very excited to speak Arabic again and speak about this in Arabic. So what's beautiful about 11 on a Rain, what's coming up, are many, many brands that we all wanted to wear, at least I wanted to wear and I couldn't fit into. Dolce & Gabbana being one. I mean, having a curvy lace dress, I'm in, let's do it. We also have some great brands coming on board like Stella McCartney and Good Americans coming on board. And so I'm very excited about that platform. In terms of Dima Ayad, I think the best part about where I am right now is I'm tapping into so many different touch points of what I'm seeing is lacking in the market. So I'm looking at creating a sportswear collection. I started the research for it and it's looking like it'll come in September, I think. And then also diversifying the brand to not just be evening wear, but like a kind of a mix of so many different things for versatility. I'm really, really focusing so much about sustainability right now and getting a better understanding of having signature pieces that stay in your wardrobe for a long time, that don't necessarily have a, autumn, winter tag to it or spring, summer, but things that are actually timeless. For the reuse and the ability of helping us, the environment, it's really starting to affect me. Seeing it, hearing it, looking at the fabrics I'm using, and this is kind of a topical point that's, creating some sort of a shift in the way I'm thinking right now.